Kia ora fellas, Agent 6, Ditch the Gym New Zealand, your guide to being a home-forged athlete here in beautiful Aotearoa. And why? Well, because unless you are a competitive strength sports athlete, gyms are not only lame and an unnecessary expense, with a bit of knowledge, they are obsolete. And we all know that one of the favorite tools or methods of the home-forged athlete is, of course, calisthenics or bodyweight training. And one of the rules that governs the calisthenics trainee is, of course, the 3x15 rule. This guideline implies that when you're training with your own body weight, once you can do 3 sets of, say, 15 repetitions successfully and consistently, you're gonna have to increase weight. With bodyweight training, we tend to do this by adjusting the angle or putting ourselves at a mechanical disadvantage. However, many of us like to increase our strength using weighted calisthenics. The most common methods for adding weight, of course, include ankle weights, a weight belt or loading belt, and the plate, sandbag, or iron bar loaded weight vest. Now each has advantages and disadvantages which are fairly obvious. You've got small incremental loading with your ankle weights, but it's not going to do you any good if you're doing press-ups with ankle weights on. And yeah, you can load up a weight belt with an insane amount of weight, but it's not going to do you any good if you're doing press-ups or if you're working on parallel bars that are low to the ground. It's mostly for overhead work and high parallel bar work, which makes the most versatile choice, of course, the weight vest. Check out my video on weight vests. Shameless plug. Now, many of our fellow home-forged athletes are going to want to use a weight belt, but they're not going to have weight plates at home, and they're going to want to resort to a kettlebell. Because the integrity of the handle on a kettlebell is of the utmost importance, you're going to want to wrap it with a towel. I shouldn't have to say it, but since common sense isn't really a thing, if you've got a lot of weight swinging around on a chain near a very sensitive area of your body, fellas, be mindful. If you're going to experiment with weighted calisthenics, ensure that you are working in small incremental changes. In other words, spend a period of time, several weeks, just working with one weight before you move up to the next weight. Do not let your ego get caught up in the game of how much weight you're actually moving. In fact, many of the best calisthenics athletes and trainers in the world don't even really recommend weighted calisthenics. The advice to not let yourself get caught up in weight and repetitions is pretty sound. It's applicable to calisthenics as well, focusing on the quality of your movement and the mind-muscle connection. That's a lot of buzzwords. I do apologize. While they may not be entirely necessary, there's no denying they can be a great way to enhance your training. If you're not keen on spending money, there's nothing that says that you can't just take a couple old water bottles, throw them into a backpack, and get after it. Many argue successfully that the weight vest gives you an added advantage because in sport, it's very seldom that you're actually going to be dealing with a threat below your center of gravity. When you have weight mounted above your center of gravity, it's a bit more applicable to how we move and how we manage our movements. Balance. Ditch the cult of supplements and mirror gazing. Ditch the gym, New Zealand.